Smart. His dad being the coach at Leander, and his mom works at the school. He's got a tremendous character, and he took it as a motivator to make sure that he never had anything else like that happen to him again. And I'd even forgotten it. I mean, that's what you do. You move forward, and he is playing great. He had his tough hits the other night. In fact, I felt sorry for him when he had the head-to-head targeting call, because he was going at the chest, and as the ball was coming, the receiver went down, and that's a very tough adjustment for a player to make, that the guy goes down and Blake hits him in the head. So, but Blake's playing really well for us.
Coach, do you guys still talk about the 60 minutes mentality, and that was something that was gained from the game that was there the last time?
It is. We talk about it. In fact, we were going to tell the kids this tomorrow in our meeting. We're 27-5 with games 4 points or less, and we are 19-4 in games that are decided by 3 points or less. So we've won most of those games, and that's one of the few ones that we didn't win, and it was costly. But we didn't play as well as we should have offensively early in the ball game, and we didn't stop them on the last drive, and give Tech credit for that. In fact, the 3 games we've lost out there have all been less than a touchdown, and have all been decided, I think, in the last minute.
How validating was it to see them respond to that last year and take that idea and really execute?
It's really been good for our guys. They believe they're going to win every game. They believe they're going to win in the end. They're excited about this challenge. The ones that were out there 2 years ago will remember it. The rest of them have not lost out there. Because we've won 2 out of the last 3. So I think that the memory will be that we were number 1 in the country and didn't finish the game well. I think that's what they'll remember. And I thought they were more physical than we were, and just did a better job overall with their approach than we did in that game.
Do you expect Mike Davis to be that kind of playmaker sometimes when freshmen make plays? I know you guys are worried that people are ready to put a statue up, but is that what you're kind of expecting out of him?
You never know with a receiver how many times he can get the ball. You can try to script it to him some, but you can't script it downfield. You can script it behind the line of scrimmage, but they can double team you and take you away. And Mike is a guy that we had seen make some dramatic catches and some really good runs in practice, but I'm not sure we've seen anything in practice that was like he did on Saturday night. I was really proud of him, and now as a freshman he's got to learn to be consistent. That's the hardest thing. If you start believing all the things people are going to say about you, usually people either it's too high or too low. If you lose a game, everybody says there was nothing good, which is not true. If you win a game, everything was great, and it's not true. And the same with a receiver. So Mike's got some things he needs to fix, but he's obviously a talent with the ball in his hands. And he's very confident, and that's unusual for a freshman. And we were proud to see Darius White do the same. The replay was really close in the end zone.
Coach, I know you and Coach Coverville took the Middle East trip together. He was out of coaching at the time, but did you learn anything new about him or any kind of something?
Yeah, the 9 days, all I did is ask him about, if you get a new job, what kind of offense you're going to run, what will you run on third down, how will you fake punts, how will you fake kicks, and I've got all my notes ready now. So now Tommy is one of the greats when it comes to giving back. He made that trip twice, and he cared about the troops. In fact, he made it when he wasn't coaching, because he just left Auburn, and that's a great credit to him. And he told us all before the trip that it was nice and easy, and about halfway through, none of us would speak to him, because we said, you lied to us. And he said, well, you wouldn't have come if I'd have told you the truth. So, but he's done a great job wherever he's coached. He won at Ole Miss, he won at Auburn, and he'll win at Tech.
Coach, when you talk about this week, Fozzie's named the starter, do you have to worry at all about changing them out in their confidence, or do you think it makes them more competitive?
No, we like competition, and we're lucky that it really doesn't matter who starts, and we just want somebody to step up. And what we're going to do is we don't have the one guy. We haven't had the one guy since Jamal left, and what we'll do is keep the hot hand in the game.
Coach, sorry, I've got a kind of question out of left field for ESPN. They want to know, how should Virginia Tech's loss to James Madison affect Boise State's national championship?
I think we have to wait till the end. You know, I would like for the BCS to explain to all of us about strength of schedule. I get confused with it. I really do, and I can't understand it. And we say it's really prominent, but I don't see it all the time. So I think we wait till the end and see what strength of schedule means. We played Rice and beat them a couple of years ago. They won 10 games, and we didn't seem to get much credit for it. So I think that's one area that I would like to see us scrutinize the BCS a little bit more and make sure all of us and all of you understood better. Because why play really tough games out of conference if you're not going to really gain from them, because they're really detrimental if you lose. You saw what it did to Virginia Tech. The one loss to Boise probably beat them twice.
Coach, when Tuberville got to Tech, he said he was going to try and keep some of the offense the same and still do what he does. Have you seen that just with what you've seen out of Virginia?
We have. He's got a lot of the same concepts in the passing game, but at the same time, it's a quicker tempo. He brought the offensive coordinator in from Troy, and he's still trying to run the ball more than Mike did at times. You know, Mike could go a whole game not run it, not even think about it. So, but they've gone for 6 fourth downs and made 2. So I think Tommy's still being really aggressive.
Matt, can you look at Tech this year compared to Ole Miss and Auburn in the past and say that's a Tommy Tuberville style team?
You really can't, because the defense has got more of an Alabama personality to it right now with Coach Willis coming from Alabama, and the offense is totally opposite from anything Tommy's ever done. He's always been a line-up in the eye and power running game and knock you off, so I'm sure this is different for him, seeing 40, 50 passes a game.
Coach, after the Wyoming game, you said you guys would have to play better to win this week. You still feel that way?
I do. I think we want to get more explosive plays, and we've got to force more turnovers on defense. And I looked at the penalties. I think we've had 13 penalties, and they've had 11. So both of us are going to be coaching penalties this week.
Coach, there was a lot of talk last week about where this offense is going to be. You and Coach Davis both mentioned it. From what we saw in Game 2, how close is it to where you guys want it to be?
It's closer. That was more the personality and the balance we wanted the other night. We were in the shotgun more than we were in the up under the center, but we also feel like that we're doing a better job running the same plays from the shotgun. The counter play with Fozzie and the counter play with Cody, 2 of the explosive runs were both shotgun runs that were counters. So we feel like we're making some new things happen now. We got some things we've been holding for conference, but we also feel like that we've made the progress that we need to make. Now we just got to get better. We got to finish things. I think that we're seeing chances and we're seeing things that are close, but we got to get better to it.
Coach, was it at all planned to get all 3 running backs to start before practice?
No, it really wasn't. But we planned on playing all 3 of them a lot. And Cody was really the guy that was going to carry the load till he sprained his ankle in the opener. So that gave Fozzie and Trey a chance to step up, and they both have done that in their own way. So it's probably really, really good for us about that, because you just, you get a sprained ankle, you get a sore hip, you get a sore shoulder in that position. And right now we're going to have a guy that's fresh in that position if we can continue to stay healthy like we are.
Take one more, and then we got to go to the Big 12 Conference.
Different kind of challenge for Garrett this weekend.
It is. We went on the road for a road game at Rice, but we had 95% of the fans were ours. So, but this will be fun for Garrett. Garrett's played a lot of football. He just hadn't been the starter here long, and I feel like that we probably missed it a little bit, that there's so much more pressure on him starting than there was even coming in the national championship game, because he didn't have time to think about it. And then he had 6 months where people told him, we want you to be like Vince, we want you to be like Colt, you need to win all the games, we're expecting you to do what you did in high school. And that's a tremendous burden for any young guy, and we thought he was much better Saturday night than he was in the opener. And he's been very careful with the ball, but he's getting it to the right guys. And we feel like that each week he'll become a better leader, and this is a week where leaders have to step up. We've played really, really well on the road here. And I think it's because we have confident players. But they'll all have a different challenge this week, and I think it'll be fun to see. Every time you take another step, you learn a little bit more about your team.
Okay, Coach. Thank you.